Do you think some of your clients forget why they started riding?
Yes. I am an equestrian peak performance mindset coach. To fall off a horse and get back on takes such an incredible amount of courage, tenacity, resilience, and everything else. But it can also leave trauma. Can't stress enough how important mindset is in riding. It's massively, massively neglected.
Do you find equestrians are mentally tougher or weaker in some?
I've met an equestrian woman.
There's one sitting in the corner. Well,
how can I improve? Because the goal is not the rosette. And I tell all my clients, if you want a rosette, I'll go and buy them. The reason most people have never achieved is because they've never been asked. You don't want to get on a horse that doesn't teach you stuff.
I was bottom set in school and everything.
And look at you now.
Yeah, I'm overweight and a father of two.
That's what we can talk about.
Neil, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a bit about your background.
Okay, I am an equestrian peak performance mindset coach. Now, when people talk about equestrian peak performance mindset coach, they think it's just for your serious athletes, but it's not. I work with everyone from your happy hackers, which I love the term happy hackers, by the way, because you've just got, in order to perform at anything, you've got to be happy. Yeah. You've got to be really, really happy. Right up to your 5-star eventers, international dressage riders, everything in between. So background. Okay, I've done this for about 16 years now. I started off as a hypnotherapist. I've trained hypnotherapists. I've examined hypnotherapists. I've done psychotherapy training. I'm actually a trained coach as well as a mad keen equestrian. So that's my background. I've been doing this. And like I say, I just love what I do. I am a mindset bore, as you're about to find out. So we've got a 2-hour slot, but it could take a lot longer than that.
It take as long as you want.
Yeah.
It's all very important. So yeah, I've got a few questions here that I've told you before. We'll start off with them, but then we mainly drift off from the questions.
Definitely divert.
But what is your role if you have a client? What is your role, and what do you work on with them to help them through certain scenarios?
Okay, so we've got a few things that I offer. Obviously, there's the falling off bit, okay, and getting back on, which to fall off a horse and get back on is incredible, isn't it? Because really, we shouldn't be on them in the first place. Okay, when you think about it, it's not a sane thing to do, is it really? No, these things can move sideways, forwards at a whim of 40 miles an hour. Okay, and to fall off one and then get back on, it takes such an incredible amount of courage, tenacity, resilience, and everything else. But it can also leave trauma. Okay, so I can work with clients, and I do work with clients getting back on, but that's not the main point of what I do. My point is I have a vast interest in performance, high performance, whether you want to perform better on a hack, or whether you want to perform better in training, or better in a competition, or you want to go after a goal. So at this moment in time, I'm coaching clients to go to, one of my clients wants to go to badminton as a 5-star eventer, which she's done before. She is amazing. I've got clients from to international dressage competitions. So they're the first ever international dressage competition. And that was an amazing story because she'd fallen off. She went off to her first international dressage competition and fell off, lost all her confidence, lost all her joie de vivre, etc., and fell off. So we got her there, and then she's gone to 2 or 3, and then she's gone over to Germany, and she's doing amazing. And I keep in touch, and they keep in touch with me. So we have regular sessions to top up their mindset, to keep them going to achieve their goals, and then beyond. Because once we hit a goal, we then go and set another one. We've just been talking about once we hit our goal, we think, well, what's next? So we set new goals and we keep going, we're going and going. Because the thing I love about coaching, I told you wouldn't get a word in twice.
That's great.
Okay. Great. One thing about coaching is, and the thing about equestrianism, there's always something to get better at. And my role as a mindset coach is to keep them going, keep that mindset going. We look at things like limiting beliefs. Talking about confidence. We're talking about our environment or how that affects us. We chunk goals down into bite-sized, achievable pieces. So, because a lot of clients come to me completely overwhelmed. So let's say, I'm working with a 5-star eventer and she wants to go 5-star. We know that that's going to be a long journey because horses take a long time to get to that level. Yeah. So we break that down into 6-month, 3-month, monthly goals. And also as a coach, it's about my job to keep them accountable, as well as dealing with all the mindset blocks to make sure so they hit those goals. And when you think about that, when you've got someone like me supporting you, you can't not hit that goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly exciting. And when they do it, I think I went to a competition on Saturday and I worked with this lady for a long time. And when they go down there, it's incredibly, when you go down that center line, it's incredibly emotional to see them achieve that goal, and my support is my support, and they ring me, they message me, and we really kind of achieve great things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But so what would be like a typical, I know you're saying about your 5-star eventers but like, do you have everyday riders who come to you? Like what's a typical scenario that you come across quite often, and how do you deal with that?
Okay. So you've got riders who have lost their motivation, okay, because they've either fallen off or they've had a bad time. Then one thing I often hear is, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And that's what we call limited belief. And beliefs are not based on any other evidence whatsoever. Okay. So we break down those beliefs. We have people who kind of compare themselves to others. Yeah. Comparison trap, where they're struggling because someone is on a nice 17-2 warm blood and they've got a 13-2 cob, and they believe they should have a 17-2 warm blood. So we can put the enjoyment back into competing. It's not just competing. It's, I've got riders who just want to go out hacking. Yeah, they just want to go out there hacking and love their horse. So we hypnosis, I can change how you perceive you ride on your horse to love it even more. We can create an even better, because the bond with the horse is so important, because you've got that trust element.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got guided visualizations, NLP, which we'll probably talk about later, to actually create a better bond with your horse, to have a better time, to be calm, confident, and relaxed on that horse. And that's something I use quite a lot. So, we use positive affirmations, we use hypnotic suggestion. I am calm, confident, and relaxed. Set the intention for going to ride. I'm going to have an amazing ride. Not my horse is going to spook at a pheasant in the bush and I'm not going to handle it. And I'm going to heads upside down in a ditch. It's going to be amazing. We're going to love this. I'm on my own journey. Yeah. It's all about creating that mental resilience. So you just love, because they are incredible creatures, aren't they? Yeah. It's just amazing. I've had horses. I'm 54 now. I started late, so I was like 36 when I started.
All right. Oh, so there's still hope for me, yeah?
Yeah, there is. We're going to use hypnosis to get you back on that horse. Watch this space, everyone. He said he wants to ride a Shire.
I'd love to. I actually would. Yeah. Shire, Clydesdale, because I wouldn't feel as bad on it then, because it's quite a hefty weight. Yes, I don't want to be hurting any of the horses.
You'll be fine. But if there's anyone out there with a Shire horse that Aaron can ride,
please don't get in contact.
I'll be there.
Yeah, contact you, and then maybe
then we'll get Aaron on it. So yeah, we can put the fun element back into your horses, but we can also get you better competition results. We can keep you going even through the winter when the winter's terrible. We talk about kind of motivating you more, getting you to really enjoy that. It's not just, I think a lot of people, when they look at me, think, oh, well, I fell off my horse. Can you get back on? 100% yes, I can.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's much more to it than that. But it's also about kind of, I want you to love the process. You're my client. They'll tell you, I want you to love the process of riding, because that's what it's really all about.
Yeah. So when you say, like you just said, then a client contacts you saying, "I've fallen off my horse. I need you to help me get back on." Like, what's the first thing you say to them, like, or do you have to sit down with them for a bit, or is it?
No, we have, because everyone has their own reasons why they don't want to get back on. And a lot of people just think it's 3, 2, 1, back in the room, you're confident again, you get back on the room. But when you fall off a horse, like you have a car accident or fall down the stairs, it leaves trauma. It's a bit like burn your hand on the gas ring, and someone tells you to do it again. Your unconscious mind says, that's going to hurt, Neil. I'm not doing that. So we have to rationalize that. We have to do a lot of work before we do the 3, 2, 1, back in the room. You're back in that confident place. You can sit there with your heels down. You can enjoy everything. There's a lot more to it. And every client is individual. Every client has their own individual reasons why they don't want to get back on. They're afraid of getting back on. You know, there's a lot of people out there that just deal with the confidence. But if you don't deal with the trauma, it'll manifest itself into something else. So you've got to deal with the trauma of it all. You know, that the trauma is, you know, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get hurt again. So, you know, every client, so we go through lots and lots. When I do it, I use things like cognitive behavioral therapy. We use hypnosis, which everyone loves. And we'll talk about hypnosis because one of my favorite subjects. Okay.
If you bring out a watch and start dangling.
Oh, okay, I don't have to do that. We can do this conversational hypnosis as well, because I'm qualified in conversational, so you best beware.
Okay, so if I go missing at the end of this, please contact me.
No, it's not like that. I can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. So what you see on stage with hypnotism, and we jump to our hypnosis already because I love it so much. Okay. When you see the stage hypnotists, you see highly suggestible people volunteering to go on stage. So they already know that they're going to cluck like a chicken. They already know that they're going to eat an onion and think it's an apple. And so they already know that, and they're willing to do that. But I can't make anyone do anything they don't want to do. In fact, you really want to get into all the technicalities of hypnosis. Is all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. I don't actually put you into trance, you do.
Really?
Yeah, I don't put you into trance. You do. In fact, there's research out that it's actually not really a trance, but we'll get, that's the whole science of it. It's you want to do this. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, is you want to get back on that horse. So when you're talking about getting people back on a horse, it's getting to that point where they want to get back onto it. And then we do the trance work. We do the hypnotic suggestions and all the other great stuff.
So if I want to get back onto it, but something's stopping me from going on it, and then you come to me and hypnotize me in whichever, verbally, that's sort of like taking that shield away. Yeah. Is that what it is?
We remove the blocks in order to, now I want to get back on. We've rationalized it. We've kind of said, well, okay, what it is, because quite often people say to me, Neil, this is going to sound stupid. And it never does. It never ever. But just problem is we don't verbalize these things. So we rationalize those things. So let's say, I don't know, I've come off my horse, and the one I love, and I come across this a lot, is I don't want to hurt my horse. They're not bothered about themselves. They actually don't want to hurt my horse. Yeah. I have it with show jumpers. They're not worried about them being collapsed onto by a 3/4 ton animal. I almost hurt my horse. So then we have to say, well, you didn't. Yeah, you didn't. And that's okay. Well, I might do next time, but you might not. So part of what we do with that is we create a positive mindset. I'm all about positivity. So you've got to look at, we talk about the what ifs. What if I jump and I hurt my horse? But what if you don't? There's more chances that you don't than you do. Yeah. And life isn't without risks. No part of our life is without a risk. So you kind of rationalize those risks. And what we basically do is we calm the mind. So we get all the parts of the mind on side to be able to do what they want to do. And get back on the horse. So what if, well, have you ever how many times have you fallen off in the last 9 years? Twice. Yeah. So what makes you think you're going to fall off the next time? Yeah. And this sounds really, really simple. Yeah. And they go, I should have thought of that. But then I've got a different set of filters and different ways of dealing with things and different ways of thinking to other people. So it's a whole process of getting people back on, or getting people to be calm when they ride. that we go through all the background, and there are hypnotic techniques you can use. So it doesn't always have to be, because sometimes people don't know. Sometimes,
not aware of it.
No, some people don't know why. They just know they can't. Yeah, and so we can use hypnosis to find out those reasons why. Reasons why, because they're hidden from the conscious mind. So if you want me to go through all the technicalities, the conscious and unconscious, I can do that for you as well.
Yeah.
Conscious mind is your logical part of your brain. You're here and now. Okay. There's no conscious mind says there's no real reason why I can't get on Charlie, my little 13-2 fluffy cob, and I've got one of them, by the way, with big Ugg boots. Okay. But the unconscious mind, well, it's kind of thinking, well, there's loads of reasons. Like if I fall off him, I can't go to work on Monday, and and we won't be able to feed the kids, or I'm going to hurt him, or just loads of reasons that are hidden. So what we do is we bypass that conscious and we access the unconscious reasons. And quite often people aren't aware of why they do, or it becomes a completely different reason to what they thought it was. And once we resolve that, we move that out of the way, and then we can get you back on that horse, or we can get even. Let's say I had a show jumper a long, long time ago, and I won't mention names. She kept coming. She had a beautiful horse, incredibly talented. She kept coming 4th, 5th, 7th, never in the podium. Never in the podium. And what you call self-sabotaging behavior. Okay, there's a positive gain to not coming 4th or 5th. So with a lot of work, we found out it's because if she came 1st or 2nd, she would have to wear the sash, canter around the arena, and everyone would be looking at her. So she put on an unconscious process. Consciously, she wanted to win.
Yeah.
Unconsciously, there was no way she wanted to be the shining star in the sky.
Because she didn't want people looking at her.
On an unconscious level.
And I assume then probably a judgment would come as well if you come first with that.
Well, there's an expectation then, isn't there?
Yeah.
If I come first one, I've got to do it again and again and again. And the pressure comes on, and that pressure then creates a physiological, that's easy for me to say.
I couldn't say that.
I can't spell it. So physiological effect. So, what we're talking about, and I love this, and I give to everyone this analogy. Do you remember those fish when you were a kid? I know I'm a little bit older than you. When the fish, a kid that used to curl up, and you, yes or no?
A fish?
Yeah, fish or a mood ring.
I had a mood ring, yeah.
All right, a mood ring. That's an ideomotor signal. So even if you're trying to kid yourself that you're calm, your brain's sending unconscious messages to your mind, and this is based on science, and it tenses you up on an unconscious level. Now, you're thinking about you're on a 3/4 ton animal that can feel a fly on its back.
Good point.
Do you think you can't feel you're tensing your legs or your arms?
Yeah, of course it can, yeah.
Or it can feel you breathing.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. So that's so if she's tense and thinking, I don't want to win, it manifests it physically. And then it affects the horse. And the horse is thinking, well, you're scared, I'm scared.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a vicious circle.
Hmm.
So there's a whole process we go through from getting from here, or point A to point B.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just 3, 2, 1. You're back in one session. If only it worked like that.
Yeah. It'd be magical.
Yeah. But and it comes down to experience. And because I've been doing this for so long, you can spot these things.
Yeah.
You can spot these things. You kind of know, and you kind of think, well, actually, and you can even, if you have a good enough relationship with your clients, which I love my clients to bits. They are all, and I'm not just saying that, they are all amazing. We've had such incredible journeys together. They start to trust you, and then you create that coaching space where they step into, and they start coming. And we talked about this. They start coming up with their own answers.
Yeah.
They start becoming the solution. So my coaching is based on that. I give your man a fish, he'll feed himself for one day. Yeah. Give him a rod, and he'll feed himself for the rest of his life. So I furnish my clients with tools so they can carry on. And when they're in a competition arena, they're there on their own. They have to solve their own problems. So my coaching is all about them solving their own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving them the tools and techniques and the methods, and getting them positive enough and resilient enough to go out there and kind of compete or ride. Or, if you're on a hack, your internal dialogue is so important. no matter what happens on this hack, I'll handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than panicking and it's
Yeah.
going to scare it up, it's going to spook at a puddle.
Yeah.
So I can't go out if it's been raining.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah. But then, you know, you're talking about, I love this as well, Stoicism. I love the Stoics. Okay. Seneca, he says, we fear more in our imagination than we do in our reality.
Yeah.
So let's go through that whole thing. I told you wouldn't get a word in edgeways.
No, it's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you make bad pictures in your mind,
yeah,
you get bad feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have bad feelings, it affects you physiologically. You can't say that word. Okay. So you're already getting on nervous.
Yeah.
You're already getting on tight and stiff. You're already expecting a really bad ride. And your horse is looking at it and going, Mum, you're a bit tight here. You scared? Well, if you're scared, I'm scared.
Yeah.
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 You're affecting your horse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about giving tools, techniques, changing the way you talk, changing the way you sit, changing the way you breathe, to let go of that anxiety, to set yourself up for success.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you want some hints and tips, it's setting yourself up for success. It's actually spend some time visualizing a really great ride.
So literally sit there before you even tack up, or after you've tacked up, or it doesn't matter.
Even before you go to bed.
So sit there and close your eyes and think about how great of a ride it's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, how amazing it's going to be. You know, how beautiful the day is going, or you know, you can even visualize yourself handling a spook beautifully.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go in there and you believe, and you change your internal dialogue. I'm going to have an amazing day.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if you say that right now, say, I'm going to have an amazing day.
I'm going to have an amazing day.
How's that feel?
I feel better.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah.
I feel as though if I said that to myself on a daily basis at the start of every day, I'd probably have a much better day than if I didn't.
But people don't.
Yeah.
And it's such a shame. So you set the intention.
Yeah.
You set the intention for your ride.
Yeah.
With that positivity. I'm going to have an amazing ride.
Yeah.
I'm going to love the day.
Yeah.
I'm going to love my competition.
Yeah.
I'm going to love the process. I'm going to love the privilege on being on the back of these amazing horses, because they're not meant for us to ride. We are prey animals, and they allow us to sit on their back. Yeah. So it's having that attitude for gratitude.
Yeah, attitude for gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Having that attitude for gratitude instead of saying, "Well, I didn't kind of that round rubbish." How about saying to ourselves that, "I'm so glad I got the opportunity.
Yeah.
What did I learn from this?" Yeah. And then we can talk about, I told you wouldn't get a word in. Then we're talking about fixed mindset, growth mindset.
Yeah.
Fixed mindset, I've had a terrible round. I'm always going to be rubbish. It's always going to be the same. I'm never going to get into top 3. Fixed mindset is a limiting belief. Remember, beliefs are based on nothing. Growth mindset, okay, well, what did I learn from this? How can I improve? Because the goal is not the rosette. And I tell all my clients, if you want a rosette, I'll go and buy you one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
Could you buy me one?
Yeah, I will.
Because I've never
I'll
had
send
a
you
rosette
one.
before. On Shire.
Oh, you're going on that Shire. So it's about that growth. So you ask yourself the questions: how can I improve? Yeah, what do I do? What do I need to do to get better? And get excited about that challenge.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a challenge monster. I absolutely love. In fact, and my clients will tell you, first thing I tell them to do is make me work for my money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make it difficult for me, because I love a good challenge.
Why do you love a good challenge though? Like I'm going to come on to this later on as well, but how, obviously, do you have a coach as well? Do you have or your own coach?
I set myself goals, but I set myself, because I've got all the stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I don't ride competition wise these days, because our herd is an aging herd, so it's not fair to kind of make them go through all that.
Yeah.
But I set myself challenging goals every year. Every single year.
But then not many people will. They may do New Year's resolutions or anything. But like, how have you got that mindset is what I'm trying to ask. Like, where's that come from? Because innate humans are, like you said, negative and
they are.
Maybe not negative, but fearing the worst all the time. And so how do you adjust your mindset? Were you born like that? Is it something that has been developed, or is it something that you go, oh yeah, if I do this?
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm a card carrying short person. Okay, I am 5'4". People got to say, Neil, you've got short man syndrome. Hell yes, I have. Okay, I absolutely love being 5'4". I don't see it as a disability. I see it as one of the best things that ever happened to me. Yeah. So I love, if you tell me I can't do it, I'll do it twice and take photos.
Really?
Yeah. But the way I do it is evolutionary from a neurological point of view. I'm using big words here.
It's great.
Yeah. Okay. We get a dopamine hit every time we challenge ourselves. So when we were cave people, it would have been easy to stay in Africa. Yeah. And stay in our little caves and never venture out apart from grow a few sprouts and hunt an odd animal and go back to your cave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the brain has a reward system for every time that you push past your comfort zone. Yeah. So let's take, I don't know, I used to do this with my kids. You know, they would jump from 55 centimeters and I'd pop it up to 60 sneakily. You know, they were going like around the arena and soon as we weren't looking, I'd pop it up an inch. Okay. And then they'd pop over it. They were saying to me, Dad, I can't do it. Dad can't do it. Of course you can do it. Go on, get. And they'd do it. And then they get that dopamine hit, that really great feeling of achievement. I'm addicted to that. That's how I do it. Yeah.
Right.
And also, I'm very kind of honest with myself. We are on this planet for a very, very short time.
Yeah.
And and what I love is, I think it's a 40 trillion to 1 chance that you were born, Aaron.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say so. Okay. And there's a 40 trillion to 1 chance that I was born, Neil. I'm going to make the most of every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't sit still because, you know, we talk about Carl Rogers' work. He believes that we're all born to self-actualize, i.e. grow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our brain is driven to grow. Mm-hmm. And when we don't grow, and I'm sure you've probably felt this as well, you feel miserable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you just sit in we're born to grow. Yeah. Yeah. So I've accepted that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we talked before, I'm a card carrying idiot. Yeah. It's like, I go on adventures. My partner says to me, you're an idiot, Neil. And I go, I am 100% an idiot. Yeah. Because life is such a great big adventure. Horses it's just a huge adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Riding, going to the competition shouldn't be hard work. It should be just one massive, great, big adventure from start to finish. And just to see if I can.
Yeah.
I love that, to see if I can. So there's another technique I use. I imagine for any challenge, for anyone's out there who uses this as well. Let's say you've got a difficult horse. I have a difficult thoroughbred. He's like the devil incarnate. Okay. And I love him. So what I imagine is the stoic God has sent me this horse. He says, Neil, are you up for this challenge? And I go, hell yeah. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. I'm not going to give up. And he bit me on the face one day. And that was the day I decided he was staying. He was a little angry bugger when I first got him. And I've still got him. He's 20 now. And I thought, yeah, okay, I'm up for this challenge. I accept this challenge from the stoic God. I'm testing you, Neil. And I think we talked about gamification before. I gamify it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I encourage my clients to gamify it. How do you know what you're capable of?
Testing.
You don't. Nobody knows what they're capable of.
No.
Yeah. Look. It's we talked about us on the journey on the way up. Look at the technological advances in the last 50 years. Look at the internet. We talked about dial-up internet before.
Yeah. A horrible noise it used to make. Oh.
Yeah. And now, but if the human race hadn't have pushed that to what we've got now and said, no, dial-up internet is the bit. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. If you've got a client who says, right, 55 centimeters is all I can jump. But how do you know? How do you know? How do you know that's the only place that you can be? Because one of the things I always say to my clients, the reason most people have never achieved is because they've never been asked. No one's ever asked it of them.
You mean themselves? They've never asked it themselves.
Or nobody's ever asked them. So what I do is I stretch. We talk about SMART goals. Have you come across SMART goals?
No. Go.
It's very corporate.
Okay.
And I used to
No.
work in a corporate world.
I'm not very corporate.
Yeah. So you got specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, timed.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That's about setting a good goal, a good smart goal. I changed realistic to challenge because who wants to be realistic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't go anywhere, do you?
No. It's a road to mediocrity. And if we're all honest, none of us really want to be mediocre.
No.
So I changed it to specific, measurable, achievable, challenging, and timed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would be like again, the lady who's or man who's called you up and fallen off my horse? What would you set those goals for that person then?
Yes.
So what would be like a typical range that you would set?
Okay, so we're talking about, well, let's get you on your horse in, he'll say 3 months.
Yeah.
I'll say 6 weeks. Yeah.
And they'll laugh at you or go, what?
We negotiate, but it normally ends up, because I am quite persuasive, we normally ends up 6 weeks or less.
Yeah.
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 And then they surprise themselves and and then it becomes a part of them. They grow themselves because then they realize that they're capable of more. I love this one, and I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning this story. I have a good client and also a very good close friend of mine who said to me, she's an older lady. I said, I want to ride Grand Prix. Yeah, well, no, she said, I want to do Prix St. George. I said, well, why not Grand Prix?
Yeah.
She said, I never really thought of that. I said, well, why not? I said, well, there's no reason. So that's the goal then. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about, and then she's more excited now about riding Grand Prix than she did Prix St. George. But no one's ever asked her, no one's ever said, well, actually, why not?
Yeah.
And there's no earthly reason why she can't.
Is usually when you ask these questions, like, why don't you ride Grand Prix? It is, I don't know. Or is it, I can't? Or is it?
Yeah. And then you ask the question, have you ever tried?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got cobs going out there riding Prix St. George.
Yeah.
It's a cob. Everyone says, I need a warm blood. But someone's obviously demanded of them that, yeah, you can ride Prix St. George on a cob. Why not? So people don't ask that question. Yeah. People don't achieve because they've never been asked. They never stretch those boundaries. And that's part of my role as a coach, is to stretch people, to grow them as a people. Not because of I'm sadistic. Okay. Okay. Although they do call me that sometimes. Okay. It's because I know they're going to feel amazing once they achieve it. And even if they don't achieve it, they've grown so much as a rider and a person, having gone along that journey. And that's what it's all about. It's not about rosettes. It's not about qualification for a final. It's about the person you become and the rider you become along that journey. If you think about it, it's a dressage test, show jumping round. We'll leave eventing out for the moment. You're only in that arena for 5 minutes, but you're spending years upon years upon years getting you and your horse ready for that 5 minutes. You've got to love the process. You've got to love the journey of getting from A to B, and then loving that goal of, jumping a Grand Prix track or jumping 55. One of my clients last year said, I jumped 40 centimeters. I was absolutely delighted for her. Yeah. Absolutely. Going, well, it's only 40. No, it's 40 centimeters. Yeah. Now, 40 centimeters, if you're not brave and you've not kind of got, the horsey background, is amazing.
Yeah.
So it's about owning your own achievements. She's now jumping 80.
80 centimeters?
Yeah, she's now jumping 80. Okay. So that 40 centimeters, that first 40 centimeters was such a hurdle for her. But we hadn't challenged her, she wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about, if you have, again, advice, love the process, love the journey, love every single moment you're on with these horses, love training them, love the challenge. My clients will ring me up and say, oh, my horse it was a right pain in the ass this week. And I say, good. She's like, Neil, I hate you. I said, no, why? I said, because it's teaching you stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to get on a horse that doesn't teach you stuff.
Yeah.
Every day's a school day. Because if you're just going a straight path to, it's dull. You're not getting that dopamine hit. You're not getting that sense of self-belief, self-efficacy, all that good stuff that makes you feel really good about you.
Yeah.
When you kind of achieve a challenge. And that's kind of that's how I work anyway.
So is it about like problem solving? Like
It is very much so.
So and that's the sort of, I mean, it's a great tool. I mean, I think I'm okay at problem solving.
Yeah.
But I can imagine a lot of people probably get themselves into certain situations, not just with horses, where they probably can't see the wood through the trees.
Yeah, but that's also it's also a physiological response. So when you're kind of struggling, your fight, flight, or freeze mechanism is running on high. Your adrenaline's pumping. You're not thinking straight. Yeah, you can't think straight when you're anxious or frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's about also kind of come to someone with a calm mind and looking at it rationally, and kind of thinking, okay. And people do say to me, "Oh, I should have thought of that." See, but we weren't in that physical state.
Mm.
Yeah, so sometimes it's about getting the clients or getting myself into a calm place and actually rationalizing. You know, Professor Steve Peters talks about the chimp.
Yeah.
Have you come across that model?
Is it the
chimp paradox?
Yeah. I think he's been on a with the white. Has he got white hair?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
It's the chimp that can't do this because he's rattling his cage. He's like got a real tantrum on. Mm-hmm. So it's about calming the chimp. Remember, you can't fight the chimp. You've got to rationalize with the chimp, and then letting the human take over and say, right, okay, we've got a problem. My horse is stiff on the left-hand side. Mm-hmm. Okay. The chimp's going, it's you. Actually, it's not. Okay. You've got to calm that chimp down, rationalize with the chimp and say, what am I going to do about it? Mm-hmm. What plans can I put in place to do that? You can't do that when your autonomic nervous system, another big word for you.
I can't say it's pulling out big words at the moment. I
tell you.
I have to spell these afterwards.
Don't ask me. Okay. Is up there. Okay, you've got to take it down and then become rational. Hypnosis is fabulous for that. For that clear thinking. When you talk about decision making, you need to make decisions with a clear mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When your fight, flight, or freeze mechanism is going off and your adrenaline's pumping and all these cortisol's pumping and adrenaline and all those nasty chemicals are going in, your heart's racing, your hands are sweaty, and you're thinking, I can't do this. Yeah, you can't. You can't make rational decisions because your body's just in that reactive state. So part of what we do, same with, you're hacking. You need to be calm and relaxed and love in the process. Right, okay, there's a pheasant up, and they always wait for me to like little bombs.
Yeah, come out the hedge.
Yeah, like hold. As soon as you're there, go. Horse jumps sideways. Yeah. You've got to be calm and rational to be able to deal and cope with that. Mm. Yeah, okay, it's jumped to the side. It's fine. Okay, I can handle it. We jump together. We're okay. Yeah. You okay? I'm okay. Let's go on. Yeah. So it's about kind of getting your mindset into that place. Can't stress enough how important mindset is in riding, but it's massively, massively neglected.
Yeah.
Yeah. People go to exercise classes. They'll go spend extra money on lessons. But they'll neglect their mindset. Now, if you've got a mental block that's stopping you performing well on an unconscious level you know nothing about, all lessons in the world's not going to help.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, you have to resolve. Mm-hmm. You can't just barge through it. Mm-hmm. Same with, I love this. Same with, you come off your horse and there is this, I'm going to say it, this like toxic masculinity in the just get on it.
Yeah.
You can't just do that.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. And you got to resolve what it is that's stopping you to getting back on. Mm-hmm. You can't just, you can do it to a point, but there's a chance that you're going to re-traumatize yourself and ruin it and make some real mental changes that's going to take a long time to get over. Mm. It's important to deal with those mindset issues. I'm nervous before a competition. Why are you nervous? What's making you so nervous? How are you going to calm that down? What's this all about? Where's the pressure coming from? Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it coming from you? What is that pressure? All those questions. Mm-hmm. If you don't do that and just say, I'm going to fudge it, I'm going to flood it, I'm just going to do it, it's not going to work. You can't bully the chimp.
Just going back to the falling off thing. So obviously I've got, me and Shan have got two children, boy and a girl, a 6 and 8 year old, and they ride and they fall off. and we always come on up you get.
Yeah.
Off you, as long as they're okay, obviously not
Yeah.
going to be riding with a broken ankle.
Yeah.
Even though I probably would make them. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But so if they shouldn't be doing that when they've fallen off as an adult, as a child, or in some cases, how should they be dealing with that? If they've fallen off and they don't want to get back on, what should they be doing?
It depends on the fall. Okay, you know yourself. Okay, I've fallen off a few times and I don't bounce. Really disappointed. I really wish I did bounce. If I don't bounce, it's about being sensible, isn't it? You know yourself if you can get on. It's about being honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I've learned over the years is to be brutally honest. I know when I'm letting myself off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a monkey. I fell off one day and my knee was collapsing and I still made sure I got on.
Really?
Yeah. But like I said, I'm a card carrying idiot. Okay. But it's about being sensible. You know, if you can't get on, you can't get back on. I've had clients who've had really catastrophic falls, broken legs, broken arms, the lot, and there's no way they should get back on afterwards.
Yeah.
If little Johnny's fallen off, and kids, I think sometimes you make such a, it's not going to sound very woke this, but if you make a big fuss of it, then the kid gets attention, and it's attention that they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll next time they fall off, they'll make a big thing of it and then refuse to get back on.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of got to trust yourself. You know when you really, really can't get on, and you know when you can. It's about being brutally honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And if you really can't, then that's okay.
Yeah.
One of the things I tell my clients, okay, everyone beats themselves up.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gets that little internal dialogue. You're rubbish, Neil. Why can't you do this? You're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. It never works. And I say that to my clients. It's like to beat yourself up. I'm rubbish, Neil. Has that ever worked for you? They go, no. Well, why do you keep doing it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's compassion. It's self-compassion.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point beating yourself up. All that does is ruins your own confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're compassionate and say, well, okay, you've fallen off, Neil. It happens, mate. You're going to try and get back on. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. And if you can't, and you mentally just really can't, no point beating yourself up. Say, well, okay, I can't. I'll go and get help.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to leave it. And then you celebrate the fact that you're going to have the courage. They're going to get help getting back on, rather than beating yourself up. I should have been able to do it. I'm a coward, Neil. I'm terrible. And there's no way. All that's going to do is chip away at that self-esteem and make the issue so much better. So it's about being compassionate. Same if you had a bad round show jumping. Mm-hmm. Okay. Beating yourself up is not going to change anything.
No.
It's not going to improve your confidence. It's not going to improve your performance. So, okay, you put it down. That's a bad round.
Yeah.
Okay. Admit it. First of all, celebrate the fact that you did it. You got in there. You had the courage to do it. And then look at it in a rational point of view. Okay, that was bad. How can I improve? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How can I improve next time? What do I need to do? Do I need help? Yeah. Being brutally honest with you. But the whole beating yourself up bit has never worked. I don't even know where it comes from. But in my book, I think people think it motivates them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because people are motivated through pain, away from pain or towards pleasure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Operant conditioning. And people think by beating themselves up and calling themselves naughty words, it's going to motivate them to get back on. Mm-hmm. But it actually doesn't. Mm-hmm. I think what is it? You can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar.
Yeah.
I think you're more likely to talk yourself into doing something by being compassionate than actually beating yourself up.
Is there a line though? So like the only reason why I ask is because if I fall off, if even work, I'd said to you I'm going for a half marathon at the end, there's periods where I'm going, no, I can't do this. Or if I've fallen off before and I have gotten back on, but I quite could have easily have just walked back to the yard. Uh-huh. So where does that line? Where do you draw that line in your own head, where you're being compassionate with yourself, but also pushing yourself at the same time?
It's about honesty. It's about being brutally honest with yourself.
Yeah,
you know, and I know when you're letting yourself off the hook.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
It's about being that brutal honesty. If you could get back on, and you didn't, then you're not being honest with yourself, and that creates that bad feeling in yourself. Yeah. So it's about emotional intelligence, knowing that you could get on. Like I say, I came off, horse went over on me, got back up, knee was buckling all over the place. I really shouldn't have got back on.
But you did.
Yeah.
But why did you?
I've just got to tell you, I can't carry an idiot.
Yeah. But it must be more than that.
It's that drive.
Yeah.
It's that drive, innate drive in me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's and I think to ride a horse, you have that innate drive, and you've got to again embrace that part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, embrace that part of you that you are determined. You know, I love this image that I always have about these young kind of girls. And I grew up with them, and the first riding school I was on when I first got my kids. And so riding, I keep in touch with all the kids, they're all 30-year-old women, and they're all like little 8-year-olds with ponytails dragging these ponies around, and it's taught them so much. But it's like if that horse wanted to beggar off at any one time, it could, and they would not. They had that mindset saying, "No, we're doing this." And I think we've all got that, but it's about being realistic. It's about that honesty. You know, if you slack off a run, it's because, and you really think you should have done it. If you let yourself off the hook, 100%. Yep. But you'll also know that 2 hours later, when you're sitting there with your packet of Doritos watching
Pringles.
Okay, Netflix, that you're feeling really guilty because you know you shouldn't have done that. Yeah. I prefer not to have that guilty feeling because that lasts longer than the 20-minute run.
Yeah. I know you have clients not just in the equestrian industry, do you?
I used to.
Do you find equestrians are mentally tougher or weaker in some? Or do you
have
is
you
there
ever
any
met
difference?
an equestrian woman?
There's one sitting in the corner. Well, I don't know. I'm trying not to look at it. What I'm trying to say is that I've always got this belief that with our kids is that it's building the discipline with them, it's building the toughness with them, it's building resilience with them. And what you probably know more than most is that the case when they're older? Are they more resilient? Are they tougher? Are they more mentally strong?
As long as they keep it up.
Yeah.
As long as we talked about having an ice bath before, and there's no part of me ever wants to get in that ice bath.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know the moment that I let myself off the hook, I've lost. It's easy then to let myself off the hook with other things. Yeah. So with kids' brains are so malleable. You know, up to 0 to 7 is our most impressionable age. Up to 20, our prefrontal cortex, the front part of our adult brain, hasn't developed.
Yeah.
That's why they believe in, I know, I'm going to break your heart now, Father Christmas. I know.
So offended. So I'll have to put a warning in.
A warning on that one.
There's any children under what? 12? Is it 12 at these days? I don't know.
I think it's about 4 these days.
4. Any children who are watching this? Just turn it off now.
4-year-olds these days can use iPads. I was playing in mud. So I think it's about 4 now. But because that adult reasoning part of their brain hasn't developed, they don't rationalize very well. So it's about keeping them going. You know, and I know horse riding for kids teaches them so much: responsibility, resilience, falling off and getting back on. You know, I'm still in awe of anyone that does that. Yeah, I'm still, honestly, I just think it's so immensely courageous. And, you know, clients that fail and get back on and get on the horse again, it's just, honestly, in my eyes, it's just fabulous. It teaches them responsibility, resilience, confidence. It teaches them that they can't bully anything, they've got to persuade. Yeah. It teaches them so much. And you know, it's such an amazing thing to get your kids into.
I think so. I think we had a short conversation on the phone, and I think we're missing that in society these days. We're missing those sort of industries and that sort of hobbies, I suppose, that teach you that, because there's not many places that you can learn that from. It's
about challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's about having challenge in your kids.
Yeah.
Or kids being challenged, and they'll feel better for being challenged because they'll get that little dopamine hit, that sense of achievement. But also, achievement builds belief.
Yeah.
And I'm a great believer in confidence is the best thing that you can give your kids. Yeah, confidence is everything. Confidence is everything in riding. It's confidence in everything. Look at us we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
We weren't confident, we wouldn't be doing this, would we?
No.
You know what I mean? We were making every excuse under the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So confidence is absolutely everything in all areas of life, but you get confidence by achieving. Yeah. You also get confidence by failure.
Oh yeah.
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 You do.
Oh yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Because you actually fail and you think, well, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, we suffer more in our imagination than we do in our reality.
Mm.
So people are often afraid of failure, but it's not really failure. It's just learning how not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's why the failure thing is a massive part of life and business and riding and anything.
Yeah.
That's why I mean, I've got a lot of friends. I've got friends that just point blank will not listen to anybody
Yeah.
and not take any advice of any. Whereas I'm completely the opposite. I love sitting down with my mum, my grandma, people like you, and get as much information as possible out of these people because you've done it, you've lived it, you've
Yeah.
learnt the lessons, and sometimes they're bloody expensive lessons.
Yeah.
And you're happy to pass them on.
But they also can be fun. So how I frame failure is it's just another adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way of looking
It's
at
just
it.
another adventure. It's just, I don't beat myself up. It's just another adventure.
Yeah.
It's just another way of doing things. I've learned how not to do it.
Yeah.
Or I've learned that, wow, sometimes your failures are better than your successes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I know you learn more from your failures than your successes.
Yeah.
And high performers know they're going to fail.
Mhm.
Yeah. And they embrace failure.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've learned how not to do it.
Yeah.
That means I'm one step closer to learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think where your confidence comes in is having the confidence to be yourself, knowing that you're going to fail and not worrying about what other people think of your failure.
That's a massive part because we're always, well, me included, I'm always so worried about letting people down and what people will think of me in some cases.
Yeah.
So how do you teach that to someone?
There's your resilience, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're only going to find out by failing. Well, you can do it. Obviously, you can do the hypnosis thing, blah, blah, your suggestion. Every time you fail, you be calm, confident, relaxed. You'll learn from it and move on really fastly.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my clients, learn from it, move on.
Yeah.
There is no point hanging on to these things, but people like to beat themselves up for days and days. If only.
Mhm.
And my question is, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You didn't. You learn from it, move on. We cannot travel back in time and change it.
Yeah.
So all this kind of beating yourself for days and days and days is pointless.
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let it go. Yeah? Just let it go, learn from it, move on, make sure next time I have a client whose horse was riding and stepped out of the arena. The next time, because it stepped out of the arena that time, she made sure on that corner it didn't step out of its arena. She learned and moved on.
Controlled it.
Yeah. So it's about embracing. The other thing is, you've got to remember, social media, we talked about this. Everyone posts the end of their journey. They never post you the bad bits where they fall off.
No.
Yeah?
No.
So now everyone's got an expectation that they have to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody posts the imperfect photos.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I work with my clients is it's okay to be you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard one, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay to be you.
Yeah.
Because we're all individuals. We're all on our own journey. We're all doing things for our own different reasons. And that's okay. It's not about comparing yourself to other people. It's about loving the journey that you're on. Now, you're going to make mistakes in that journey. Accept that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can hold on to those mistakes if you want to, but it's not going to do you any good. Or you can embrace them as a brand new adventure. Love. It's a bit like going, I don't know, we got lost on the way here. We did. We found a lovely pub, though. Okay? Part of the adventure. There's no point in me kind of getting really upset. Oh, God, we're lost. Oh, it's a nice cup of tea.
Yeah.
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 So it's about reframing, and that's where that positivity comes in. We talk about my whole thing, positive mind, positive ride.
Yeah.
But it's also positive mind, positive life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people go, oh, this whole positive thing is twee. Maybe if you want to think it like that, and we'll talk about toxic positivity as well. That's important. But if you talk about what's the alternative, just being a miserable so-and-so every single day and hating every minute you're on a horse, or hating every minute of your life, I'd rather wake up and go, right, okay. One of the questions I ask myself is, how can I make this easier? How can I make it lighter? How can I have more fun in everything that I do?
Yeah.
Yeah. How can I do this? Am I like this in real life? Yeah, I am a royal pain in the arse. I am, honestly. Honestly. Poor Claire, you know what I mean? She's just like, what now?
But it's better like,
isn't it?
I think.
Yeah.
I wish I was, I mean, I have days where I'm incredibly down and
But we
for
all have
whatever
that.
reason. Yeah,
I have
exactly.
those days.
Yeah.
But I don't allow myself to stay in it.
Yeah, but is that something that you've worked on over the years, or is that something that you've learnt somewhere? Or?
It's something I've learned, but we'll talk about toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is thinking the whole world's hunky dory and nothing ever's going to go wrong. Yeah, that's and that you're not going to feel down. You do feel down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's okay, and we all do, including I. I wake up sometimes and go, right, but then I say sometimes, well, actually, I'm not going to waste the day. Yeah, I'm not going to waste the day. What can I do? What needs to happen? Why am I feeling this way? It's about that honesty and say, well, actually, and is that true? Because quite often we make stories in our head that aren't true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just wake up because we're in a mood for no reason.
But then what do you do in those days?
I change my state. I take responsibility for my state. First thing I do, I hate this, I jump in an ice bath.
You go in an ice bath?
I can, yeah. Because life can't get any worse than that for me.
they're pretty awful. Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to get any worse than that than sitting there and freezing. Yeah, life's got to get better after that. Yeah. So but also that releases all kinds of endorphins and it breaks the state. It's what you call an NLP, a pattern interrupt.
What's an NLP?
Neuro-linguistic programming.
Right, wow.
Okay, it's a whole bunch of tools and techniques based on modeling excellence. So you take a model. That's what it was originally based on, modeling excellence. They took 4 or 5 psychotherapists, I think was it 3 or 4? I don't remember the numbers, but really great psychotherapists who were getting amazing results. And they modeled what they did bit by bit, chunked it down to every bit, did all their strategies, and then installed them into other people to see if they would get those same results. And they did. So that's what NLP really is. It's neurological. We're all neurological, the same. Neurological, the same. Okay. We've all got the same nervous system. The linguistic parts, our language, what we say to others and what we say ourselves. But our language is not just about verbal language. There's 97% of our communication is unconscious. Yeah. So, it's our body language and how we say things and stuff like that. I'm not sure if you've ever been to McDonald's and you kind of say, enjoy the meal, and you don't say it with any kind of genuine thing. Kind of go, yeah, you really mean that. Yeah.
I don't go to McDonald's.
No, it's been years.
No.
So, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and programming is the software that we run. So it's about, and there's so many tools and techniques, and we could talk, it's a whole new podcast on NLP because it's been going since the 1970s. People say it's the modern science. Ooh. It's now 54 years old.
Really?
Yes.
Right.
Okay. But there's a whole load of stuff, and it's basically about modeling excellence. It's putting models that work for other people and installing them into you. And if they work for other people, they will work for you.
Yeah.
And ways of thinking. So pattern interrupt. You interrupt that pattern. You wake up in the morning, you feel pretty grim. And like I say, I don't want to waste the day. That's my life. I just don't want to waste the day. So I pattern interrupt. I'll jump in a cold shower. I'll jump in a cold plunge. Yeah. Okay. That interrupts that pattern of downward spiraling negative behavior.
Is it always something that has to be physical? Like
it can be anything. It can be anything. It can be listening to music.
Okay. Yeah.
You can listen to your favorite music. You can change your environment. You can change your clothes. Wear some bright clothes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything that kind of just changes that negative thinking. One of the things I do every day, gratitude. I love gratitude. It's like a superfood for the brain. People think it's dead twee, but the science behind it is amazing. And it's all about positivity. Positive people live longer.
Yeah.
They're healthier, they're more resilient, they enjoy life more, but they also perform better.
I've heard about this gratitude. One of my friends from school, he puts on Facebook that he's wrote a diary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, what's the process that you do?
There's 5 things every day I write. I run a membership group. 5 things that I'm grateful for. Okay, so I look for everything, and it can be simple. We take so much for granted. So the fact that we have horses, yeah, the fact that we have horses, we should be grateful. The fact that they allow us on our back, the fact that we had a nice hack in the country and didn't come off.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that I've got a warm bed. Yeah. And if you kind of can't feel grateful for them, imagine what it would be like not to have your horse. Yeah. And then think, now I've got it. So you feel that over. And when you see your horse, you're more grateful for having him. And there's just research out there that horses can sense your emotions. Yeah. I've also heard research that they can hear your heartbeat from about 4 meters away, which is not the case. Okay. It can't. I know that for a fact. Okay. But they can. There has done research that they can sense your emotions before you get on. Yeah. So you're Mr. Angry at going on riding your horse. Guess what? You're in trouble. Yeah. You're wound up. I'm wound up. Let's do this.
Who's going to win?
Yeah. So gratitude, it's all about setting yourself up. So gratitude is an amazing one to get yourself out of that negative spiral. You're grateful for your kids, grateful that they're healthy. Yeah. Grateful that you've got food in your belly, that right now you're not in the Ukraine dodging bombs. Yeah. We've got so much, but we take it all for granted. And it changes the way you feel and the way you see life. And because if you do it on a regular basis, you change your filters. You start looking for things to be grateful for.
Yeah, so you're changing the pathways in your brain to look for the positive rather than
remember we are Teflon for positivity and Velcro for negativity. Our brain has a negativity bias. We love negativity. You only have to watch EastEnders. Well, I don't.
Well, that's why I think we discussed on the phone. That's why the news has done well for so long. Is because most of it is negative, and we're all drawn to that.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. And just going back to the horses as well, do you think some of your clients forget why they started riding?
Yes, they get drawn into that one brain mentality rather than the actual pure love of it. Like it's never enough. Yeah. It's never, and I love sometimes it's never enough for the right reasons. No horse has ever scored 100% in dressage.
No.
Okay, so it's that constant growth, and I love that growth mindset. But when that never enough comes into, I need a brand new saddle that I can't afford because such and such down the aisle's got a brand new saddle, and it becomes so they forget they're not riding for the joy of it. They're riding. I think it was Ant Middleton wrote about ego versus pride.
Ego versus pride.
Yeah, they're riding for ego. Sorry, is it ego? No, is it? Yeah, ego. They're riding for ego, not pride. Proud of your achievement rather than, hey, look at everyone, I've got this. Look, everyone, I'm doing this.
Like showing off, basically.
Showing off, yeah. And we get pulled into that. Yeah. And the whole world, we're not going into conspiracy theories, but I know how marketing works because I used to work in marketing. I'm sure you do it as well. Yeah. Okay. The whole world is built on that one brain. Yeah. Want more, want more, want more. That's what keeps a capitalist economy going. But sometimes, again, with the gratitude, I'm happy with what I've got. Yeah. Yeah. I love the fact that I can go riding on and I've got a little 13-2 hairy cob that I ride, and I love him to bits. I've had him for 15 years. He's absolutely hilarious, and he really is. But I should be riding a 17-hand warm blood. Why? When I love my little 13-2 cob.
You're happy.
Yeah. And I think people forget that it's do it for the love, do it for the pride, rather than do it for your ego and to show off and all those shallow things that happen. And I'm a great one for that because that shallowness and that ego doesn't last through those really tough times when you do fall off. It flitters away. Or when you can't ride for 6 months because you've broken your toe. But if you're riding for pride and you've got a purpose, that's what will get you through. Yeah. And so they do get lost a bit, and I have to reconnect them with why do you want to do this?
Because every single person, every single equestrian started riding because for the love.
The love of it.
The love of it, and then the competing and that sort of stuff came afterwards.
Yeah.
Every little boy or little girl
You
or
should
adult,
love competing.
whatever it is,
Yeah. You should love competing. Live every single minute that you're there.
Yeah.
Love the platting up, the whole romance of it. If you go hunting, I've got clients that go hunting, and I tell them, and they're not hunting foxes because that's not what they do these days. They're hunting clean boot.
Yeah.
And I know they because I know the people that do it.
Yeah.
Love the process. Love the process of grooming your horse, platting it, you putting, getting ready, turning up, having your port before you go. Yeah. Okay. And then going out in the countryside and just loving being on this big, beautiful beast that's going to take you over these hedges that you never thought you were ever going to do. And he's looked after you. That's what it's about. Competitions, it's about the growth. It's about loving every time you get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And taking pride in that. This is me. I did this. Yeah. Or going out there and you get in the top 3, being proud of yourself. Don't do it because for ego and to show off. Do it because this was my journey. I did this. I trained my horse at this level. I've loved every single. I fell off a few times and got back on a few times. Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
Do you think when we're comparing ourselves, like you said about social media, you think that's played a massive part in a lot of the issues that you see
100%. People looking for instant fixes. Yeah. Constantly looking for instead of, loving the journey that I did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did this. They've got a £40,000 performance horse or maybe a £400,000 performance horse, and they take their trainer and I'm not good enough because I've only got a £20,000 horse or a £10,000 horse. And I haven't got my trainer with me, but I've produced this horse myself. I think there's more in producing that horse yourself and loving the journey and going through all the trials and tribulations and become a better rider and a better person than that instant fix of that £400,000 horse. And there's nothing wrong if you can afford it, fair play to you, but as long as you put the work in, it's about the work, not that little rosette at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think too many people put that emphasis on that little rosette at the end instead of, I did this, this was me. And then I can feel really good about myself, that pride.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned something before off camera, is like when you get to 80, 90, please God, 100, you're going to want to be surrounded by those memories and how well you've done for yourself rather than your rosettes,
Absolutely.
Of you actually enjoying your journey.
You don't want to be sitting there with your shoulda, woulda, couldas. One of the exercises I do with my clients is when you're 80, 90, or in my case, 110, okay, and you've got your grandkids around you, what do you want to tell them?
Yeah.
What do you want to tell them?
Yeah.
Yeah. That I had, that I lived every day. I rode every day. I had this beautiful horse for 20 odd years and I stuck with him and I've loved it. I've loved every minute of my life.
Yeah.
And that's part of why I do my adventures and I live life to the full because I don't want to sit there whenever it is going to be and think I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I want to say I did. Yeah. Did I make mistakes? Yeah. Have I made mistakes? Yeah. 100% I've made mistakes. Yeah. I don't dwell on them because that was yesterday. I can't change. I've learned. I've become a better person from them. Become a better rider from them. I've become a better coach from them. I think what makes me a good coach is because I've made mistakes. And I'm a real person and I know what it's like to fall off. Yeah, I know what it's like to go to a competition and not give it your best because I took shortcuts. Yeah, I've learned from that. And now I know that doesn't work. I don't beat myself up for it. I just I'm rationalized about it and saying, yeah, I did that.
You accept it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with show jumping. How many people, I love this word, this thing, stressage. How is it stressful? I'm sorry, but how is dressage stressful? It's stressful because you're making it, but also because you're slipping into that victim mindset. You're slipping into that being a victim of this thing called dressage, but it's beautiful. Proper, the whole romance of kind of preparing for competition. It's just amazing. It's just an absolutely amazing adventure from platting up. I love platting up. I'm a grown man. I can plat.
I can just about do Aya's hair.
We'll give you lessons. It's okay.
Too fiddly.
When you come down to see our Shire horse.
Yeah. We'll see.
We're gonna get photos.
So, but why do you think riders slip into that mentality though?
I think a lot of people carry stress as a badge of honor.
So they sort of like to boast,
like sort of how stressed they are.
That is true, actually. If anybody ever asks me how I'm going, I automatically go, "Oh, work's really stressful," or "This is really stressful," because I suppose that negativity thing. Maybe that's what people want to hear, so I give it to them.
Yeah.
Instead of going, "Oh no, we did a great podcast with Neil yesterday." I go straight to, "Oh, this was hard yesterday," or "This has gone wrong," or "This is."
I get, because as soon as you say I am, okay, so if you say I am sad, guess what? You're sad. Yeah. So people ask me, so how you doing? And I'll go, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they go, you're always amazing. That's because I always am amazing. Yeah. But if I say I'm amazing, I feel amazing. If I say I'm sad and I'm stressed and down in the dumps, and talking about NLP before, this is the linguistic part of it.
Yeah.
Or what we say to ourselves and others has an effect. Talk about trash talking boxing, where they're trash talking everybody else. He's this, that, and the other, and blah blah. He's weak. He's tiny. He's too slow. They're not doing it to get at that other fella. They're doing it for themselves, to convince themselves that they have an edge over this person.
Right.
Yeah. So stressage to dressage. It's not really stressage. Stress to me is when there's a life or death situation. This is not. This is something we do because we love it. No, I love grooming a horse. Mucking out, not so much. We'll just get that out there. Okay. But I love grooming a horse. I turn it into a mindful experience. Yeah, I love the shiny coat, the muscles, the smell of them, the sound of the breath, the snort. I love the nozzle. It's great, isn't it? Okay. I love that. So I love grooming them. I love it when they're bathed and they're looking gleaming and they're really nice, and the hooves are and you look like just like a sculpture, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just like a sculpture. And then when they're platting up and the horse is like sighing, and it's like its eyes are drooping because it's like really enjoying the experience, and the end result looking at it and going, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And people go, I get stressed about that. Why?
Because it has to be perfect. Because in their heads they've gone, this plait needs to be totally symmetrical, totally perfect. And then they've got how many plaits in a mane?
Depends on side of the neck, I suppose.
So they've got to do that like 20 times, I don't know, 30 times. And I suppose that's where it maybe comes from.
Does it have to be perfect?
In their heads, maybe.
I think the Japanese thing is Kaizen, good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it good enough? Have I had an amazing time doing this? Is my horse happy me doing this? From 40 yards away from the audience, is anyone going to know that the 5th plait long is not just quite right? I know you'll know, but that's okay because you're taking pride. But it's good enough. Is it good enough?
We talked about this again before the cameras came on. We always do this. We talk about the conversations before we turn on the cameras. And we talked about the community in the equestrian world. Now, and I'm sure you've experienced it, it can be extremely powerfully amazing and supportive in some cases.
Absolutely.
But then there's the ugly side where maybe that 5th plait down, if someone in the equestrian community sees that, then that person would be...
Okay. So the remedy to that is having a strong sense of who you are, a strong sense of self. Okay. So normally when someone criticizes you, if it's true and you believe that about you, it's going to hurt. Okay. We're taking the world through our senses, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. There is gustatory, but nobody tastes terrible. Okay.
That's another podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got all these senses, and we get bombarded with 7, I think something like trillions of bits of information at any point in time, but we can only process 7 plus 2 or minus bits of information. So we filter a lot out of it according to our beliefs. Okay. So if we believe that we're not good enough, and someone tells us that we're not good enough, hey presto, it gets to us. Yeah. So if you say, that fifth plait along is a little bit wonky, Neil, and you're kind of thinking that believe I'm not good enough, then it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you've got a good sense of who you are and you're kind of honest with yourself and you're honest with all your strengths and all your weaknesses, I don't know, but you know this, but I'm a little bit confident.
No, I wouldn't have guessed.
I know, and I'm working on it. Okay. Okay. But I know my faults. Yeah. There's only one.
Wow.
Okay.
I wish I only had one.
Okay. No, I know all my faults.
I'm joking.
I know that. I know all my faults. I know myself intimately. I'm brutally honest with myself. So I become bomb-proof.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how you turn it into, that it's good enough. Yeah. Then you become rational. Okay. I'm here for dressage. I'm here to do a prelim test. Okay. Or I'm in to do novice or elementary. Will that plateau coming down might really affect my score? No, I'm here to love the journey. Yeah. If they're telling me that I'm a terrible person because I can't plateau, first of all, I can't plateau to anyone's level. Okay. So I'll admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore you can't get me because I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And am I the world's greatest rider? No. Yeah. I'm here to learn. So I'm going to make mistakes at this dressage test. That's okay. Because I'm not here to show off, to show everyone how good I am.
Yeah. I'm
here for me.
Yeah. I'm
here for the adventure, as we said, the journey. So it's a bit like saying someone come up to me and says, Neil, you're a short 5'4" Martian. I'm not. I'm 5'4", I'm short, but I'm not a Martian.
Okay. You can't say that sort of stuff with me. I'm not laughing because it's laughing. It's just the way you came out with that. Then I was not expecting you to say that.
Okay. So why would that affect me?
Yeah.
Neil, you're a terrible rider, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a terrible rider. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But who is? There's not one, and when we talk about dressage, no one in dressage has ever scored 100% because nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you kind of look at the reasons why you get to understand other people, why they're saying these things. And it's something in them that they want to feel important. Now, I don't mind constructive feedback.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're honest with yourself, you go, well, actually, that's constructive feedback. I'm good with that. I'm good with constructive feedback. But because they're just criticizing because I've got a wonky plait, then, and they want to make a big deal of that, and then you've got to look at, well, why are they saying that? Is there something in them that's lacking in them? So it's about that honesty. You don't have to attack them and viciously. You just got to understand. In transactional analysis, it's called, I'm okay, you're not okay. In other words, I'm so much better than you because you're not okay. But we all should be. And this is where we go into that whole equestrian community. I'm okay, you're okay. You're a happy hacker. I love happy hackers. There's absolutely, honestly, because I love people having a great time with their horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love I love that totally and utterly. But you should be a dressage rider. Why? Or I'm better than you because I do inter dressage and you're only a happy hacker. But you're not. You're doing what you love and you're doing what you love. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Yeah. And
that's how it should be. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're quite negative here. I am the only bloke in a yard full of 40 women, by the way. Okay. I've got a thick skin. You go into, I'm okay, you're not okay. Or I'm not okay and you're not okay. And that's to do with them, not you. So you understand that. And so it's about, and I think I do come across a lot of yard politics all the time.
Yeah, very tricky being on a yard.
It is incredibly. And all you've got to do is create a good sense of who you are. Know yourself intimately. Know why you're doing it. I'm not the finished article. I'm not the finished article as a coach. I constantly read, learn new stuff. I don't tell everyone. I'm not this finished article as a person. Apparently your brain carries on through the process of neuroplasticity, another big word for you.
What the hell?
I put that in especially for you. Carried on molding it and growing till the day that you're no longer here.
Yeah.
So we're on this constant, and all you've got to do is admit that. And once you're honest with it, they can't get to you. They can't. It's about being bulletproof. Yeah. And that's it. And being, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
So you accept that.
Yeah.
Except I'm not the finished article. You're right. Okay, you're right. I'm not the finished article. And that's how I deal. And that's how I taught my clients to deal with it. And even young people, because I do have a lot to do with a lot of young people, and teach them that to be it's okay to be you.
I think that's the most difficult period of your life, though, when you're young.
Yes,
I mean, I know it's hard being an adult. It is hard being an adult, but emotionally, I remember I was a hell of a lot more sensitive than I am now when I was a child, and I know my kids are as well. And that age group is massively not under threat at the moment, but
it is. I believe it is through kind of things like social media, etc., because we're constantly comparing. I think they have something on TikTok called a haul, where all the kids put out all their Christmas presents on video.
Yeah, to show. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Imagine. Yeah. Imagine.
When I was a kid, when I got like a super soaker for Christmas or anything on my birthday, I'd go around to my friend's house in the cul-de-sac. Look, I got this. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But now it's like,
how much?
Yeah, look how much I get. Look how much I got.
And they desperately want to fit in, and they desperately don't want to stand out.
Yeah.
Whereas my work is giving people the confidence to stand out. One of my favorite poems, I'm not going to recite the whole poem, is man's greatest fear is not failure. Man's greatest fear is being a shining star in the sky. Yeah. People don't want to stand out. They don't want to be exceptional because they then don't fit in. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're going to be targeted. Like that's all these Facebook trolls and whatnot. I remember I put a video up of Aya actually riding, and I put it on the Just Horse Riders Facebook page.
Yeah.
And 99% of the comments on there were, oh, she's great, she's fantastic, well done, brilliant, congratulations. And there was a few people on there saying, oh, her rising trot was out of whack, or her balance was bad, her seat was bad. She was 6 years old at the time, and these were all fully grown women.
Yeah, you should have had it sorted by then.
What I mean is that like social media is definitely given these people a voice to target you.
But then if you expect that, yeah,
or don't read the comments,
you can't do that. But you kind of just expect it and see these people for who they really are. Yeah. She's 6 years old. Yeah. Just the fact that she's horse riding is amazing. Yeah. The fact that she's balancing on a horse, that she's got the courage to do this, and the courage to stand out. So that should be celebrated. But as long as you celebrate it and she celebrates it, and understand that there's always going to be those type of people, and it's about knowing yourself intimately, knowing yourself and becoming bomb-proof. Having that confidence to be who you are. Now, I say to you talked about Carrington Riding Centre, and I was talking about have conversations to someone, and I was encouraging them just to be individuals, because nobody needs a carbon copy. No. There's 8.2 billion people on this planet. Why would you want to be like everybody else?
Yeah, like you said, not to stand out.
Yeah, that's just to be dull, to live. And we talk about safety. Yeah, but do you really want to live a safe, dull life?
I suppose, like, again, when you said when you're 80, 90, 100 years old, please God, and what sort of life do you want to have had?
Yeah. I did this exercise, and we'll digress a little bit, it was quite funny. We did this clean metaphor coaching thing. I was kind of told you constantly learning. And so I asked myself the clean metaphor questions. So I want an image of your life, what you want to be in the future. Okay. So I came up with this ship, and people who know me will laugh because they know me. And I said, well, what type of ship is it? It's a big wooden galleon. Okay. What type of ship is it really, Neil? Okay, it's a pirate ship.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. And the sea, is it calm sea? No, it's not a calm sea, it's rough sea. And I asked myself, well, why would it want to be a calm? Why would you want a rough sea? Because I don't want life to be calm. I don't want life to be just one tiny, dull place journey. I want to sail a pirate galleon ship if I'm really honest.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, who doesn't?
Exactly. I'm just more honest about it than anybody else. Yeah. And so you kind of look at it, okay, if you're going to ride a horse and you want to, or you're a kid, and you ask them what type, they want to go on adventures, they want to have fun, they want to play cowboys and Indians, they want to just, yeah. And we should be encouraging those kids and encouraging those people. I love it when there's people on our yard, and I hope they don't mind me saying this, but they just go down there, and they're grown women, and they go play ponies, and I love that.
And it's great.
And I think, why shouldn't you? And that's what this is all about to me. Go out there, play ponies. Yeah. Have fun.
Definitely. And it also gives you the excuse to do it as well. Because then it's like with Link, I was a massive fan of Pokemon. Don't mind saying that. I'll proudly admit. And when Link, my son, he's now into Pokemon, I love it. Because it gives me the excuse and the space to be that child again.
But we've always got that child.
Yeah.
We can go back to whole psychology. We can talk about Carl Jung, who had a tower in his mansion in Austria, I think it was. And he had a room where he could go and play. We've all got that bit in us.
Yeah.
That's where our creativity comes in. That's where we learn. We learn so much from playing.
Yeah.
And when we're having fun, that's where, we get that motivation. We have that energy. We want to do it rather than got to do it. Everything has to be serious because what would other people think? And I have a saying, and I tell my clients this, the people think of me is none of my business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with a positive mindset, which I have got that positive mindset, I just think they all think I'm amazing anyway. Deluded, but maybe, but
But where do you think along the way we like, what age do you think we start losing that? Because again, I know I talk about the Pokemon and stuff like that, but there was a period where I didn't speak about it with my friends because they weren't into it anymore. But now I can do because I've got an excuse. So, but I'd quite happily still speak.
They're probably telling you they're not into it.
But they are. But then who's telling them that it's
it's that expectation, isn't it? Our kids, the kids now, and you probably see it now. We joked before that 4-year-olds can use an iPad, and I could only play in wood at 4 years old. Yeah. But they're getting younger and younger to be this adult because they think it's cool. We're not allowing our kids to be kids, but we're not letting our adults to be kids either. We've got to have that balance. Yeah. Especially with riding and horses, we've got to have that balance between work and fun and play. Even the horses, if you're going to school your horse 4, 5, 6 times a week, doing constant schooling, 20-meter circles, serpentines, all stuff, pole work, it's going to get bored. Yeah, it's just going to see it as that work we talked about before, work. But if you play with it and it comes off, and remember, it kind of remembers your emotions, it knows what emotional state you're in, and you're in a playful mood, your horse is going to enjoy it more. So the truth of the matter is we've all got this inner child, all of us. Sometimes it's great just to let it out and have that fun and have that adventurous side, and not everything is so serious and etc. People think high performance is 120%. We have to go to 120%. No pain is no gain. Now in my life, and let's talk about first of all the 120%. To be in that flow state, that state where we're in the zone. You ever been in that?
Now and again,
I can actually pop you that into that with hypnosis. Okay. That's around about the 70-80% effort mark. Okay. It's not 120%. 120% is painful.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you're in pain, you can't do it for very long.
No.
Yeah. So it's not. It's around that 70-80%, and you're loving every moment of it. You get absorbed into it. Let's say you're playing a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
And you're absorbed in it, and everything else just kind of blanks out, and it's just you in that game, and someone's shouting at you, you can't hear it. And even on a horse, I've been in that state on a horse. That mindfulness state there. Right? People are talking to me, and I'm just in the zone. It's just nothing around.
You and the horse.
Just me and the horse. And I create that state for my clients. That's around the 70-80% mark. And not 120% because that's painful. Not 100% because that's painful. Let's go on to no pain is no gain. It's nonsense. Unless you're a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
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 No pain is no pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about it before. The secret to success is consistency.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's consistently taking that one step each day. Whereas I love if you improve 1%
Yeah.
each day, in a year's time, you're 365% better than the way you are now. That's a huge leap, isn't it?
Massive.
Just by that 1%.
Yeah.
And you don't have to put yourself in incredible pain to improve 1%.
Yeah.
And I think, again, you're talking about going back to kids. We put so much pressure on them.
Mhm.
Yeah. We don't make school fun. We don't make horses fun. And I've seen them. I've seen the bridezilla mums competitions pushing the kids. And then I've worked with the kids 12, 15, 20. They don't want to ride anymore because it's no fun.
Yeah.
Because we haven't created that association with them.
Yeah.
That this is meant to be fun.
Mhm.
And even at the top level, it's meant to be fun. You're meant to enjoy this.
Mhm.
The moment anything becomes hard work, it becomes mediocre.
Mhm.
All your great businessmen, they do it for the game.
Yeah.
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 How can I've worked with millionaires and say, well, okay, you've got 6 million quid. When was enough? He said, well, was it enough for 70 grand?
Yeah.
Now I just do it to score. It's a score on scoreboard for me. It's just a big game to see how much I can earn because it's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how high performance is done.
And I think that's 100% correct.
Yeah.
I really do.
And we need to do that with our kids.
Mhm.
Make it fun. Make homework enjoyable. Make riding enjoyable. Make mucking out enjoyable.
Mhm.
And then they'll want to do it.
Yeah. And I think even the bad times, and everybody will
Yeah.
have bad times, but we discussed it again previously. Even if it's bad, you've got a story to tell afterwards, and you'll laugh about it because you'll get through it one way or another.
Yeah, but then you kind of labeled bad times. How bad does it have to be for a bad time?
Exactly, yeah. It's all about perspective, isn't it?
Isn't
like
it?
Link dropping his ice cream is the equivalent of me losing 20 grand.
Yeah.
Or Shan falling off her horse, or Aya breaking her bridle.
Okay, but
It's all equivalent.
You reframe it, okay? 20 grand. You lose 20 grand. The way I look at it is I can make it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gives me another go.
Yeah.
At this amazing thing called life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Link can get another ice cream from the
can,
freezer.
yeah. So it depends on what you call is a bad time. Getting lost on a journey, is it a bad time or is it an adventure?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Falling off your horse, as long as I'm okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm okay.
Mhm.
Rather than I fell off my horse, it's a big deal. It's thank God I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you get injured, you break a leg. Okay. It is a bad thing to happen. It's painful. Okay. But you're still here.
Yeah.
Okay. It will heal. I can get back. It's all about having that positive mindset. The alternatives, we slip into that victim mindset.
Mhm.
We dwell on it. We make ourselves miserable. Well, and I think personally, that healing becomes more difficult. It becomes more painful because you're more focused on it. If you go into that victim mindset, your son drops his ice cream or daughter. What's it? Your son or daughter?
It's usually Link, yeah. Certainly my son, yeah.
Okay. If he dwells on it, it becomes a bigger and bigger pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Instead of, okay, yeah, I can get another ice cream.
Mhm.
Yeah. You talk about falling off a horse, the kids falling off a horse. So what you make a big deal and allow them to slip into that victim mindset, and they make a big deal about it and they start focusing on what hurts, and then it becomes a big thing. You say, no, you're okay. Everything all right? Dust it off. Yeah, okay. Pop yourself back on. You're still okay. You're still alive, aren't you?
Mhm.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think we have enough of that, because I think what we do, I'm going to be really, I think we wrap our kids up with cotton wool too much.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in this be careful place,
Mhm.
and they're not learning any resilience. They don't, and it's like a muscle. Yeah.
I agree.
And then eventually, because life is pretty tough sometimes, when things don't go wrong, they haven't got any resources to deal with that tough time.
I agree.
And sometimes I think you do, and that's why I love horses for kids, because it teaches them that resilience. They don't always do what you want them to do. It doesn't always go smoothly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of accept, then you go, okay, next time I can do this.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's part of how that's why I love it for young people particularly.
Yeah. Again, we could I could talk to you for probably days actually about this, because I think it's incredibly interesting as well. Your take on it, and not your take on it, but the information you bring towards it with backing
Yeah.
of science and
Yeah.
all the experience that you've done. But you mentioned as well you had like a sheet.
I do indeed.
With the like, is it hints and tips and whatnot?
I did a live on my Facebook page on Saturday.
Yeah.
And what I did a download, because what it was is frequently asked questions, the questions that get asked all the time. So we can go through some of them.
Yeah, I'd love to. And then what I'll do
Okay.
is as well, if you can send it me, I'll put it on the
Certainly
link
can.
and you to your website or wherever it is.
It's all great stuff,
Yeah.
you know. Okay. So the first one is, how can I be more confident in a horse even after I fall off? Now we'll discuss some of this.
Yes.
Okay. So the first one is, we all think about the what ifs. What if? What if I get on any books? What if, like I say, one of those naughty pheasants spooks my horse at the last minute without me even notice every single time I ride? Okay. And we talk about, when we think about these what ifs, we make bad pictures in our head. We make bad movies in our head.
Mhm.
And because the brain has difficulty, and you wouldn't believe this, well, I can prove that to you anyway, is it has difficulty between imagination and reality.
Mhm.
So your brain's already thinking it's already happened. So it puts you in that state, that anxious state. When you're thinking about kind of getting on this horse and it moves immediately off the mountain block and starts, and you're not ready.
Yeah.
You're already getting into that state, that fight, flight, or freeze mechanism. Adrenaline's running, cortisol's running, all those nasty stress hormones are running, your heart's racing. You're already in that negative state.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're already off to a bad start. Okay. So the key to that is to think about, what if it doesn't?
Mm.
Yeah. What if it doesn't? What if it doesn't run off? What if the pheasant does explode at the last minute and I sit to it beautifully? What happens if my horse doesn't react to it? Yeah. What if it all goes right? And then we've got that positivity going on with a positive mindset, saying, setting that intention, I'm going to have an amazing ride. Yeah. And it's going to be amazing. I'm going to love every single minute of this. It's the same with going into a dressage test. You can create it into this big, massive nightmare, or you can say, this is going to be amazing.
So it's a choice.
It is a choice. We get to choose. I always say we'll do this now. Whose head's that on your shoulders?
Mine.
Whose brain is it?
Shan's. No, I'm joking. Mine.
Yeah. Who's in charge of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm grateful for responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I put a post on it on Saturday, and I thought it's a bit naughty, this, Neil, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're responsible for your results. You're responsible for your performance, and you're responsible for your mindset. And I love that, because that gives me power. Gives me choice. Yeah.
I heard this quote: if you're not changing it, you're choosing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get to choose.
Yeah.
And it's all about, going to the NLP, the linguistic part of it. It's how we talk to ourselves. How we talk to ourselves has a massive impact on how we feel. I am scared. Guess what? You become scared. Yeah. I'm done. You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You finished.
Yeah. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm positive. I'm awesome. You're allowed to tell yourself you're awesome.
Yeah.
Shall I read you my tattoo? My tattoo is fab. It says, be a wolf, be a lion, set goals, smash them, be stronger, be better, show people who you are. And this bit I love, never apologize for being awesome.
That's cool.
Stay positive, stay the course.
Yeah.
Okay. How many of us apologize for being awesome? Everyone's awesome. In my eyes, they are.
Yeah.
You know, we go to Carrington, those kids are just, honestly, they're just amazing.
Yeah.
They are. And last year's kids were amazing, just awesome. And I get told all the stories, and Jenny tells me about it, and I just think they're just awesome.
Yeah.
And we just don't celebrate our awesomeness enough. And people go, but that's being big-headed. But it's not, it's being honest.
Yeah.
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 It's being honest. So you celebrate your wins. If you've got on a horse and you've been frightened and you've had a great ride, celebrate it. Don't apologize for being awesome. Yeah. Don't give yourself a kick and, well, I could have done better. You did enough. You got on there. You were terrified. And you got on there, which, to me, my definition of bravery is being afraid and doing it anyway. Yeah. Not being afraid and doing it's not brave.
No.
Yeah. My definition of courage is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Being afraid and doing it anyway. So celebrate that you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Embrace it. Secondly, are you being anxious or excited?
Mm.
It's the same feelings, two sides of the same coin. So reframe your anxiety. No, I'm not anxious. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to go on this ride.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to get on my horse. I'm excited to go and do this round of show jumps. Yeah. I'm excited. But don't let the buts in. I never let those buts in. Yeah. I have that pattern interrupt. I'm not going to tell you what I say to that voice because it's a naughty word. But I do.
Yeah.
I have that pattern. I don't allow that in. So as soon as it says, well, no. Yeah. Pattern interrupt it. Pattern interrupt. Nope. Yeah. But nope. Yeah. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is I'm going to take charge of my mindset and I'm going to get on that horse and it's going to be amazing. How do I know? Because I'm in control here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you're worried about the negative what ifs, okay, what if you fall off? It's just a different adventure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Another story to tell.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. It's everything. You can reframe it. Everything is really, really terrible. And so on. If you talk about the science behind this, the research behind this, it's, Viktor Frankl was a Jewish concentrate survivor. And he said, I think it's Man's Search for Meaning is the book. And he said, we own how we react to a situation. There he was in the most terrible, awful situations. And he learned that he owned how he reacted to every situation. Yeah, it's how you react. You have that power. Yeah, it takes a certain amount of strength and resilience. And I get that. But that can be built.
Yeah.
Remember, our brain is plastic. It doesn't stop growing. I love school. In school, you take your GCSEs at 16 and you kind of, all right, you fail them. And you think, I'm going to be a dummy for the rest of my life. What absolute nuts is that? Yeah.
I was bottom set in school and everything.
And look at you now.
Yeah, I'm overweight and a father of two.
That's what. We can talk about success. Then, what's your measure of success? You're happy. Are you married?
Yep, married. Yep.
Happily married.
Yep.
With a father of two.
Yep.
That's successful.
That'll do for me.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It depends on what your measure of success is.
Yeah.
Your measure of success is different to my measure of success, and that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people get all het up on this.
Yeah.
Some people just want to go and participate at the regionals, and that's their measure of success. Amazing. Some people want to come in the top 3. That's fine also. They're both not successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because one wants to be placed and one just wants to qualify.
Yeah.
It's what your measure of success is.
Yeah, it's what you want to do, your perspective on it.
Some people are successful because they jump 40 centimeters. I love that. That's their measure of success. And especially if they were afraid of jumping 40 centimeters and they jumped it, that's even better.
Yeah.
That's even better for me. Or they're afraid to go and hacking on their own and they do it.
Yeah.
That to me is success.
Because they've overcome it on a mental level as well.
Yeah. And they've grown.
And
to me, that's what this is all about. Life is about growth. Yeah, we should be constantly looking for that growth, to experience different things, to challenge ourselves, to go on different adventures. So if you start reframing everything as just a different adventure, life, you take a lot of pressure off yourself.
I like that.
Yeah. But that's how to live, isn't it? It is an adventure.
But a lot of people don't live like that.
Yeah, but we've never been taught.
Well, this is the problem I think we discussed this as well.
Yeah,
like it is. In school, you get taught PE, physical education. Make sure you're active. Not once did I have any emotional education or anything like that. I mean, growing up as well, I suppose, we talked about it before, different generations of fathers as well. I'm very different with my son as, the men that were with me growing up.
Okay, but you can reframe that. It's like they taught you how not to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you could be grateful for that.
Yeah.
Rather than, slip into that victim mindset.
Yeah.
You can actually say, well, actually, I'm grateful they taught me how not to do it. They taught me a better way of doing it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Because I made that same decision. I looked at mine and went, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that, because if I didn't see how not to do it, I wouldn't have known how to do it.
Yeah.
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 So it's all that positive mindset stuff. And people go, oh, you can't always be that positive. I am.
Yeah.
I am. I wake up in the morning positive.
Yeah. You make
Yeah.
yourself that.
I choose to,
You choose it, yeah.
because my choice is to have a miserable day.
Or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, isn't it? And I
No,
don't want to be
definitely.
miserable. I want to go out there. And people look at me and I bounce when I walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bounce when I walk because I'm
I
quite,
jiggle when I walk
yeah,
mainly,
yeah.
yeah.
You start running, mate.
So on your Facebook Q&A,
Yeah.
what were a couple
Okay.
what are a couple of the other questions that you
Okay,
asked?
so we're talking about biggest one is confidence. But biggest one is confidence. How can I have more confidence? So you reframe the what ifs.
Mhm.
Yeah, what ifs. You celebrate your successes every time. I think achievement builds belief.
Mhm.
So let's say you're afraid of getting on, okay, and you first of all you just put your horse at the mountain block, and you put the foot in the stirrup, and it becomes and you do that. That's good.
Yeah.
So you build on that. Yeah, in behavioral science, it's called desensitization. Okay, so you celebrate that. You don't say, well, if I could, well, I should have just been able to get on, blah, 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 kick yourself, take more confidence.
Mhm.
Celebrate it.
Mhm.
If you then get on the following day, celebrate it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Celebrate your successes.
Mhm.
And then if you take 3 steps with someone leading you, celebrate it. Don't be going, well, what if I should be able to do this by now? You're on your own individual journey. You've got to do it your way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just know. So it's kind of reframe the what ifs, celebrate successes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Visualize.
Mhm.
Oh, I love visualization. I do. It's a skill though. It's people, it's a bit like meditation. I teach my clients meditation, and people say, I can't meditate. I go, no one can meditate in the first couple of minutes.
It's difficult.
It is
It's
difficult.
difficult, yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried it. I can't sit still. Can't do it. Can't take away.
Okay. So you'd start for 30 seconds.
Mhm.
Okay. And and you accept that you're going to get intrusive thoughts.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the whole idea of meditation is you don't grab hold of them. You just let them go.
Mhm.
You accept that's going to happen. Okay. So it's kind of visualization. It's practice. It's a skill. It's a bit like drawing. People tell me they can't draw because the first few drawings they did were a bit rubbish, and then they gave up.
Mhm.
Visualization. So you sit down, you visualize the perfect ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, you visualize your perfect ride that you actually start by watching yourself on the TV screen, disassociate yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't have the feelings with it.
Mhm.
Okay. And you make that round perfect, the perfect show jump. Okay. And then you imagine once you've got that you're on your horse and you've jumped a 60 centimeter course or 80 centimeters or meter 40, whatever you're doing perfectly, you're making the right decisions, nice 3-beat canter, and you're popping the jumps and you're getting the strides in, you jump on the oxer and everything goes amazing. You then you imagine yourself on the horse jumping that round. Now, what that does is it creates an association that you can do it. Remember, your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality.
Mhm.
The other thing is it's firing neurons to the muscles. So you're getting muscle memory.
Really?
Yeah, you're creating muscle, getting muscle memory. And the more you do it, the more when you sit on the horse, your brain already has the habit of doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you create, so visualize. I once watched an interview with Mo Salah, the Liverpool striker. He visualizes 15 minutes twice a day, scoring goals.
Really?
Yeah, it's that powerful. But people say, well, I'm only riding a cob. Who am I to visualize? And I said, well, why not?
Yeah.
If it works for you and that's what you want to do, why not? And you don't have to tell anyone to do it. One of my favorite exercises is a Xander letter.
A Zanderletter.
A
You are really
Zanderletter.
bringing out these big words.
I know.
What
I'm
is
doing it on purpose.
What is a Zanderletter?
It's a letter you write to yourself from the future.
Okay.
So you're convincing your brain that you've already done it.
Yeah.
Okay, remember, time's a man-made thing.
Yeah.
We have no concept of time, really. Okay, so you write it. Dear Neil, I've just jumped an amazing round at Aintree at 80 centimeters. The horse went beautifully. I feel absolutely just immense.
Yeah.
Yeah. The preparation was excellent. I got on, I was calm, I was confident. All the decisions were made beautifully. all the work with this, the visualization, self-talk has just worked.
Yeah.
So you write yourself a Xander letter of how it's gone, how perfectly well it's gone. That's embedding a suggestion into your brain already. You've already done this and everything's okay.
Yeah.
So a Xander letter is a fabulous piece of kit to do. And nobody else has to see this. Everyone gets a bit kind of, I got on, we jumped, it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm worried about everyone else finding out this letter. Burn it.
Yeah, burn it after you're done.
Yeah,
it's for no one else apart from you.
Have fun writing it.
Yeah.
If you really want to get into it, draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, draw a picture. Oh, I can't draw. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, who cares? Get your crayons out. Yeah. I only like crayons in our house. No sharp instruments. So yeah, draw an image.
Yeah.
Make yourself a mood board. Make yourself a vision board.
Yeah.
Get a visual representation of, do all your successes, everything you've ever achieved. Not being big-headed, it's being honest. People people have a problem with confidence. Don't want to be too confident. Too confidence is arrogance. That's a lie. When people are arrogant, they're lying to themselves. Confidence is the truth. Confidence is everything you've achieved, honestly. Yeah. So there's a big difference between being arrogant and being confident. Being confident is being self-assured. No matter what the world throws at me, I'll be able to handle it. Why? Because I'm 54 years old, and to this day, I've handled everything that life's thrown at me. That's the truth. Yeah. So it's about, make yourself a vision board. Remind yourself, go through a show reel of all the great things that you've ever achieved. Yeah. If you put a matching pair, I say that on my group. I celebrate every Friday matching pair of socks on, because it very rarely happens. I'm a bit of a rebel. If I've got a matching pair of socks on, I'm celebrating.
You're happy. You're happy.
I'm celebrating that. It's an achievement. Okay? So celebrate it. Why not? Oh, I can't do that. Why can't you do that? Yeah. If it makes you feel good about you and builds your confidence and gets you to your outcome of riding confidently, then why not? If you're looking fabulous today, which Aaron, you are looking fabulous.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank
you should celebrate that. Yeah.
But when you say celebrate it, you mean going out at a party or going out in town, or mentally?
If you want to.
Because we'll be having a lot of parties if I'm celebrating every.
What a life that would be.
I'm joking.
You know what my favorite saying is, and I tell my clients this, okay, is you can buy yourself a birthday cake every single day and nobody checks up.
That is true, but then the jiggling would get worse. The jiggling would get very worse.
I like cake.
Who doesn't?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so, but you can if you wanted to. If you wanted to buy, so you can celebrate. I used to tell you that you can't.
Yeah.
And I love that. So why are you waiting for permission? Go buy yourself a Colin the Cat. Is it Colin the Caterpillar?
Colin the Caterpillar, yeah.
Or is it Cuthbert? Which one's the oldie one?
Colin.
Is it?
Colin's Caterpillar, yeah.
I love oldie social media. It's fab. Have you seen it? Colin. So go get yourself a Colin the Caterpillar and have a slice of cake every time you succeed something.
Yeah.
Who says you can't? If it works for you.
Yeah.
Great.
So like going back to the original question with the confidence, that would be, so from what I've taken from it is I know you don't like the word realistic aims, but set an aim that you can do.
Yeah.
Rather than saying I'm going to get on and ride 3 laps, and instead saying I'm going to put my foot in this stirrup and then get on and get off, and then that's me done.
That's absolutely.
And then that's a celebration and build from that.
For some people, that's a challenging goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's okay. You're on your journey. Just because so-and-so can get on and ride off, that they're not riding. They haven't fallen off as badly as you have. And we all have a different sensitivity to trauma.
Yeah.
That's research. Some soldiers suffer from PTSD, some don't.
Yeah.
It's not because they're weak. It's just because the way their brain's made up differently. It's a bit like neurodivergent kids. They're not. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the brain's wired differently. They have different sets of skills. Yeah. Same as you. Your brain's wired differently. You're sensitive to some areas, certain areas, and that's okay. So just break it down. If that's good for you, as long as you've pushed that little bit. So that's why I like challenge. The saying is, and I love it, growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone.
No.
So by pushing yourself slightly out your comfort, you don't want to traumatize yourself.
No.
You just want to push yourself slightly out your and keep growing, then what happens when you stay out your comfort zone for long enough? It becomes comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the ice bath.
Keep bringing up this ice bath. I'm
I
gonna
know,
have to.
but
Are you
gonna do it.
hypnotizing me in some sort of verbal? Is that what it is?
You watch.
Is that what it is?
You'll be in there tomorrow thinking, how's this happened?
I'll send you a photo of me in the ice bath.
Please don't.
Waist up.
Phew.
But yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Social media figures will go for the roof if you do that.
I don't think so. We'd lose a lot of followers.
So, but yeah, it's after a couple of minutes in the ice bath, you get used to it.
Mm.
Yeah. Same with getting on, sitting on, and getting off. You get used to it, and then you become comfortable, and then you push it a bit.
Next step.
You take a step or 2 steps.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, what happens is you take 2 steps. You think this is quite easy, and you go for a little walk.
Yeah, I can go further. Yeah. I'm in this zone. I can go further than this.
Yeah,
and that's how you build the confidence and that sort of thing. Just aim low, not aim low, but aim realistically. And if you can push it a little bit further than do it.
Achievement builds self-belief.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what other questions were asked in that Q&A?
Okay, so we'll also go back to confidence as well a little bit. Like I say, I'm a great believer in breath work.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it alters your autonomic nervous system, your fight, flight, or freeze, that's the baddie in this. We live in a time now where it was originally on an evolutionary base for when we were facing saber-toothed tigers. Now I've looked around here and there isn't one. I'd have it as a pet. Meet Fido.
Like the Flintstones.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but we no longer, so now our body reacts in the same way as when we see in a saber-toothed tiger. So fight, flight, or freeze, but we can't. So we sit there shaking. Yeah. And the adrenaline's pumping, the heart's racing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, but with breath work, and most people breathe from the chest. Mm-hmm. Okay. But babies breathe from their belly. So the correct way is breathing from your belly breathing. Yeah. So breathe in through your nose and out through your nose.
And is it your diaphragm? Is that what it is?
From your diaphragm, yeah.
So if I breathe in through my nose, it's oh yeah.
Yeah.
Belly's going even bigger than it usually is.
Because you should breathe from your diaphragm, because your diaphragm opens your lungs out. But also by breathing, you become, so if you do box breathing, so let's try that. So you breathe in for 4.
Breathing in now.
Hold for 4. Out for 4. Hold for 4. In for 4. Yeah. You change your physiology, change your mentality. Okay. For me, you become mindful of your breathing. Yeah. Right? Mindfulness is about basically being in the moment. Mm. Now, a lot of people think they can multitask, mainly girls.
They can. I've seen it.
They switch from one to the other really, really fast.
Is that what it is?
It is. And they tell you that they can multitask. Okay. But they can't. Okay. Obviously, we're not going to say that to them. Strike this on a podcast. Okay. But with mindfulness, because the thing is, you can't think of 2 things at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're focusing on your breath.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about anything else.
Don't think of something else. Okay.
Yeah.
And you can use your breath to ground yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one I use is inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 4, 5. All coherence breathing. You're synchronizing your brain, your heart, and your breath. Now, it's something really interesting that most ancient prayers are 5.5 seconds long. Ave Maria is 5.5 seconds long.
So when you're exhaling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not purposely done.
I don't know, what I find is weird. Hare Krishna is 5.5 seconds long. Bizarre, isn't it?
That is really bizarre.
Bizarre, but it kind of settles all the whole autonomic nervous system down. But also it becomes mindful because you're concentrating and focusing on your breathing. You can also do this with focusing on your body, become really body aware. So instead of focusing on the future, remember, anxiety is always about the future, depression is more about the past. Mm-hmm. Do it in the here and now, so you can focus on your horse's ears, body twitching. Can you feel the rhythm of the walk? Can you feel your feet, the heels down, the weight of your heels? Can you feel your joppers? Not men, because men should never wear joppers. It should be illegal.
I found out that the hard
Yeah,
way.
should
Camel tail is not a
should
not
never
a good look.
ever wear joppers. Illegal. I don't look good in joppers.
No.
Yeah. So, can you feel the texture of your joppers on you? Yeah. So it's about kind of grounding yourself, setting yourself up for success. You know, because there is that machoism, just get on and ride. Don't work. Yeah. There are some certain people that can do that.
Mhm.
Okay, and it works for them. It's called flooding.
Mhm.
And there's some people that doesn't work for. You're just going to terrorize them again. You've got to decide who you are. Okay, and there's no shame in it.
Mhm.
So that one for confidence, visualization, setting that intention, writing your Xander letter. Yeah.
Right.
You can do a confidence anchor. That's a little bit more technical. It's an NLP term. Whereas you find, and we'll just go over briefly, you find a time in the past when you were most confident. Okay, and you step into that time as though you're really there. You make the picture bigger, brighter, the sounds louder. You give that confidence feeling of color from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes.
Yeah.
And then spin it and spin it again and make it really, really powerful. And when you've got it most powerful, you squeeze a finger and thumb together and then you let go. And you keep practicing that when you can use different situations until whenever you squeeze that finger and thumb together, because you're associating confidence feeling with the squeeze of finger and thumb, you've got a confidence trigger. And you become confident. And this works. We know a red light means stop because it's through the same association. So that cannot not work.
Yeah.
But it takes, some people can get it once or twice. I do it in trance. When I do a hypnosis, I do it with trance and it can become even more powerful.
Yeah.
But you can actually do it yourself. So you can put yourself a confidence trigger. Yeah.
So just to go, so I'll be in, sit down on the end of my bed.
Yeah.
And think about it.
Yeah.
And when I've got it, and it's as big in my head as I can remember it.
Make it bigger.
As big as I possibly can.
Bigger.
Bigger. And then when I've got that, squeeze.
We'll get the feelings. Make sure you got the feelings. Turn the volume right up on the feelings.
Yeah.
Get the colors brighter. Everything's here, be there. And when you're ready, when it's at its peak, squeeze that finger and thumb together.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready, got it, let go.
And then let go of the memory.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let go. Break the state, get up.
Yeah.
Give yourself a shake, sit, bow.
Go for an ice bath.
Do it again. Yeah, do an ice bath, yeah.
And do that again.
Do that again. Told you, you've been hypnotized.
So do that, what, 2-3 times a day?
As many times as you can until that becomes an automatic response that you can feel confident whatever. And you can do it with any feeling you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do it with any feeling you want. So if you wanted to be determined, you find a time when you're most determined. Mm-hmm. Step into that memory, make it bigger, make it brighter, get all those feelings, really ramp it up. And when you've got that feeling, great feeling of determination, squeeze that finger and thumb. You can use your second finger if you want, and get that feeling of determination. And then when you've got it, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, hold, let go. And then keep practicing until whenever you just need that feeling, get that, squeeze that finger from you, get that feeling of determination.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can do it with your reins. So you can sit on the horse.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
And whenever you squeeze it, you become, so you get that confident feeling, squeeze the reins, let go. Get that confident feeling, squeeze the reins, let go. Yeah. So you get creating that association with that confidence. So whenever you squeeze the reins, you become more confident. You're automatically change your physiology, adopt a confident posture. I do that with the kids and I kind of get them to kind of adopt a real confident posture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like chest out, shoulders back sort of thing. Or
I tell my clients TNT. We won't go into that, but you can imagine they're rude words. Okay. So it's chest back, nice confident posture. It feels different, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Feel like, adjust my t-shirt there.
Yeah. And I tell my dressage riders to ride like a peacock.
Yes.
Yeah. Ride like a peacock. Be a peacock, my friends. Be a proud peacock. Yeah. Yeah. But you think about peacock, they're just elegant, beautiful. They don't apologize for being a peacock. They're a peacock. I'm a peacock. Yeah. I'm a performer. Hey, everyone, look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take on the characteristics. So you can think of the most, give me an idea of a confident animal.
A confident animal?
Yeah.
Well, now that you said peacock, that's all that's in my head at the moment.
That's okay.
Yeah, lion.
Yeah, a lion.
Yeah.
So be a lion
on
a horse. Proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I love about lions is Don't worry about the opinions of sheep.
No.
Yeah, they're a lion. He doesn't apologize for being a lion. I'm a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to ride like a lion. I'm going to be a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So take on that lion like nobody else needs to know you're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to be self-conscious. I won't tell anyone I'm a lion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except it's on my tattoo. Be a
Yeah, that's true. That's to read your arm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have one more question for you, because again we've covered so much today and it's been amazing. But I'm that way inclined in the sense of I'm quite open-minded. I'm very happy to give anything a go with this sort of thing. If you see someone struggling or you know someone struggling and you suggest this sort of stuff and then they don't turn around and say, oh, you're talking, I don't believe it. Like, what do you say to those people who are just point blank, well, that's not going to help me?
They don't want it.
That's it. They're just not ready for it.
Well, to be honest with you, let's talk about, I love the hypnosis subject. I don't believe in hypnosis. It's like, okay, whether you believe it or not, it's real. Okay? It's been around for thousands of years. Egyptian sleep temples, mesmer, remember mesmerize? Comes from a guy called Mesmer.
Oh.
It's the power of suggestion. Sports hypnosis has been used since the 1920s for improvement.
Yeah.
They've done operations. I think it was James Braid did operations that took people's legs off under trance. Yeah, exactly.
Ow.
What more evidence do you need that it works? Okay. We all are suggestible. Everyone says to me, I'm too clever to be hypnotized. Well, it's the opposite. It's the clever people that are the most hypnotizable.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Gee.
Okay. And there are very, very few people in this country that can't be. And they tend to be they tend to have something wrong where they can't be hypnotized, physically wrong with them. Okay, so I think it's about 80%, 10% are highly suggestible. There's those people that you get on the stage. Okay.
Oh yeah. I was actually one of those people.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That was a long time ago though, like when I was 18 or something.
I wonder if you could just close your eyes.
Put me in an ice bath.
Okay, so I could have so much fun with you. I know that. It's in a completely different interview. But yeah, 80% are normally suggestible. We're all suggestible. Okay, that's how marketing works, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why you get repeat adverts on YouTube for a torch or the middle aisle at Aldi.
The middle aisle. Oh yes, I do like the middle aisle.
Yeah,
there's always some good stuff that I never use.
We came out with an archery set.
What, an archery set? Have you used it?
Oh yeah. We went in for milk.
Fair play. Yeah.
But 80% of us are suggestible.
Yeah.
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 So sorry, 90% of us are suggestible and 10% very rare that you can't be. So when they tell me they can't be hypnotized, they can't because all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. They don't want to be.
No.
Yeah. And then normally this was my psychotherapy head goes on my coach head. I'm wondering, okay, what is it that's trying to make, what is the self-sabotage here? What's the benefit they're hanging on to for not allowing themselves to go into trance? Yeah, there's a reason. Every behavior has a positive intention. Yeah, so if they don't want to be hypnotized, there's a reason why they don't want to be hypnotized. What is that reason? Yeah. So there is that. So everything that I do is evidence-based. It's based on research. I can't do, I love the power of belief, and we touched on placebo before. Yeah. This is the power of belief, and great. And I can't prove some things don't work. It just doesn't fit with my value system. Some of the stuff, but everything that I do is evidence-based. So we're talking about cognitive behavioral therapy. That's got tons of research behind it. Hypnosis has got tons of research behind it. NLP is based on hypnosis, about 80% of it, but it's also got tons of anecdotal evidence that says it works. Yeah. So this stuff works. I think the biggest problem is that most people are afraid of it. But there's nothing really, because we're all suggestible. We're all being hypnotized into every day of our life. We're just not aware it's happening. buying stuff that we don't need is a form.
Yeah,
It is.
an archery set. Yeah,
Yeah, it was an archery set.
yeah.
I remember that day. Yeah, so we're all suggestible, so it all works. I don't do scary stuff.
No,
I never ever do scary stuff. It's done at the client's pace because you can't force, and I don't want to.
Mhm,
It's for their outcome, not mine.
Mhm.
Same as coaching. I don't coach for my goals. I coach for the client's goals.
Mhm.
It's their journey.
Mhm.
Believe me, I get as much of it. I think we talked about it the first time one of my clients went down the center line. There was a tear in my eye.
Yeah.
I was so emotional because we'd worked so hard and she'd wanted it so much.
Oh, when she went down the center line,
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
She wanted it so much.
Yeah, and she got it.
Yeah, but it's her goals, not mine.
Yeah.
So and with coaching, people think it's being a professional nag. It's not.
No.
It's creating this relationship, this safe relationship where we get to explore all this great stuff on a trusting basis, and I get to learn stuff about them and not judge them. And like I said before, most people say to me, Neil, this is going to sound stupid, and it never does.
No,
it's just they think it's stupid, and then we unravel all this stuff. Think of a big pan of spaghetti comes out, and we unravel it, we straighten it, we put it back in its packet, and that's how we do it.
It is amazing, and I think the energy you bring is quite clear.
Yeah.
And it would be a great thing to be able to have that energy in my life, as an everyday sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think just speaking to you now, and I know we talked for a long time. We could talk for a long. No, but it's been great, and you can clearly see. I can clearly see how it helps.
Yeah.
And I can clearly see how you can coax. Maybe not fears or anything, but wants out of people, and then get them to go and do that.
Yeah.
And I think it is amazing.
The hypnosis thing is so powerful.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to do another one, a live hypnosis.
We can do that. We can absolutely. We can do that.
I'm not going in an ice bath though.
He says until tomorrow.
but yeah, I just want to.
You will be thinking about it.
I am thinking about it now. I'm thinking I might go for an ice bath tonight. But yeah, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
For coming on. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, I'll put all of your links and all of your information. You're starting a podcast in February, is it this month?
14th of February.
14th of Feb.
You know what? Everyone sees that like the most important day in spring, but it isn't. It's Pancake Tuesday.
That is 100% correct, but I'm not allowed any pancakes because more jiggling will happen.
Yeah, you can't never have too many pancakes.
I'll have one pancake. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and hope to speak to you soon.
Hopefully.
Thank you very much.
See you later.